The skies over Buenos Aires turned purple 3 days before the world ended, or at least before the world as we knew it ended. I remember standing in the quantum research lab, watching the strange aurora through our reinforced windows, when the first reports came in. Captain Rodriguez, Lieutenant James Kumar burst into the lab, tablet in hand. "You need to see this." I set down the quantum probability scanner I'd been calibrating and took the tablet. The feed showed massive objects entering Earth's atmosphere, shapes that defied conventional geometry, like four-dimensional objects being forced through three-dimensional space. "Have you shown this to Colonel Blackwood?" I asked, my fingers automatically bringing up the energy signature analysis. He's in emergency meetings with the Joint Chiefs. But there's something else. James pulled up another screen. The objects, they're generating quantum fields unlike anything we've ever seen. The patterns, they remind me of your research, my research. 3 years studying quantum consciousness interfaces, trying to prove that human consciousness could directly affect quantum states. Work that had earned me equal parts ridicule and military funding. Now, looking at these readings, I felt a chill run down my spine. "Get me everything you can on these signatures," I ordered, "and contact Dr. Wei at the quantum computing facility. Tell him." The rest of my words were drowned out by the facility's alarm system. Red lights began pulsing as Colonel Blackwood's voice came over the speakers. "All personnel, this is not a drill. We are under attack. Implement Protocol Omega immediately." Through the windows, I watched as the purple aurora intensified. Then the first explosion lit up the Buenos Aires skyline. The alien ships, because that's what they had to be, hung in the air like abstract sculptures, firing weapons that seemed to bend reality itself. Military jets scrambled to intercept them, but their missiles passed right through the alien vessels as if they weren't even there. Our most advanced weapons were useless against technology that seemed to operate on completely different physical laws. "James," I said, my mind racing through quantum equations, "get me access to the consciousness scanner. Now." He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Captain, we're under attack. The scanner is experimental." "Exactly." I was already moving, heading for the secure lab where we kept our most advanced equipment. These aliens, their tech, it's all about rigid patterns, perfect geometry. But human consciousness, it's chaos. Beautiful, unpredictable chaos. As we ran through the corridors, I explained my theory. The aliens weren't just advanced. They were using technology based on quantum manipulation at a macro scale. But their approach was mathematical, precise. Human consciousness, with its inherent quantum uncertainty, might be able to disrupt their systems in ways they couldn't predict or defend against. We reached the scanner lab just as another explosion rocked the facility. Through the window, I could see one of the alien ships moving closer, its impossible geometry hurting my eyes. "Power up the scanner," I ordered, strapping myself into the interface chair, "and get me a direct feed to those energy signature readings." "Captain, this is crazy," James protested, even as his fingers flew over the controls. "We don't know what connecting your consciousness directly to these quantum fields might do." I managed a grim smile as the scanner hummed to life. "They used bombs to frighten us," I said, watching the alien ship through the window. "Let's show them what human unpredictability can really do." The scanner activated, and my consciousness expanded into the quantum field. What I saw there would change everything we thought we knew about reality, consciousness, and humanity's place in the universe. But first, it would show us how to fight back. The human mind is a quantum supercomputer wrapped in 3 pounds of meat. That's what Dr. Marcus Way always said, usually while gesturing with his coffee cup and pacing around our lab. Now, as I floated in a sea of quantum probability waves, I finally understood what he meant. "Vital signs are stable." James' voice came through, distant and echoing. "But Captain, these readings, they're off the charts." Through the quantum scanner interface, I perceived reality in ways human language wasn't designed to describe. The alien ships weren't just vessels. They were crystallized mathematical equations given physical form. Their weapons didn't destroy matter so much as they rewrote the underlying code of reality itself. But there was something else, something they hadn't counted on. "They can't see us properly," I said, my voice sounding strange to my own ears. "They're sensors. They're designed to detect ordered patterns. But human consciousness, it's like static to them. Beautiful, complex static." Dr. Marcus Way's voice cut in through the comm system. "Elena? Elena, if you can hear me, we're picking up extraordinary quantum interference patterns from your scanner. Whatever you're doing, it's affecting their systems." I could see it happening. My consciousness, amplified by the scanner, was creating ripples in the quantum field. The alien ship nearest to our facility was trying to compensate, its perfect geometric patterns stuttering like a skipping record. Their whole civilization, I managed to say, it's built on predictability. Perfect patterns. They've mastered quantum mechanics by removing uncertainty, but they've lost something in the process. They've lost chaos. They've lost creativity. "Captain," James' voice was urgent now. "The alien ship, it's changing course." Through my quantum-enhanced perception, I watched as the vessel actually moved away from our facility, its energy patterns showing signs of what I could only interpret as confusion. "Get me out," I gasped, the strain of maintaining quantum consciousness starting to take its toll. "I know how we can fight them." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Dr. Way arrived from the quantum computing facility, his usual neat appearance disheveled, his eyes bright with excitement as we went over the scanner data. "It's brilliant," he said, pointing to the quantum interference patterns my consciousness had generated. "Their technology is like a perfect crystal lattice. Beautiful, powerful, but rigid. Human consciousness is more like jazz music. Improvised, unpredictable, but following its own internal logic." Colonel Blackwood joined us, his usual military bearing softened by cautious hope. "Can we weaponize this?" I shook my head. "We don't need to weaponize it. We need to amplify it. Every human mind is already generating these interference patterns naturally. That's why their initial attacks weren't as effective as they should have been. Human consciousness itself is acting as a sort of quantum chaff, disrupting their targeting systems. If we could boost that effect," Dr. Wee mused, "create a global network of consciousness scanners, we could turn Earth itself into a quantum defensive shield." I finished, "Not by fighting their patterns, but by introducing so much beautiful chaos that their systems can't cope." "How long?" Blackwood asked. Dr. Way and I exchanged looks. "The scanner technology is ready," I said. "We'd need to modify it for mass production, create a distributed network." 3 days, Dr. Way said firmly. "Maybe 4, but Captain Rodriguez will need to help me fine-tune the quantum resonance frequencies. Her mind seems particularly jazz-like." Outside, the purple aurora still rippled across the sky, but now I understood what it really was, the visible manifestation of the aliens' attempt to impose their rigid quantum patterns on our chaotic world. They had no idea that this chaos was our greatest strength. As we worked through the night, reports came in from around the world. The aliens had established bases on every continent, their impossible ships now floating above major cities like abstract art installations. They hadn't launched any major attacks since the initial strike, almost as if they were puzzled by something. "They're probably trying to figure out why their quantum tech isn't working properly here," Dr. Wei said during a brief coffee break. "Imagine having absolute mathematical certainty about everything, and then running into something that doesn't fit your equations. Like trying to solve physics problems while the constants keep changing," I agreed. "But Marcus, what if we're wrong? What if we roll this out globally and it doesn't work?" He gave me a tired smile. "Then we'll have proven that humanity's greatest weapon really is our capacity for chaos and creativity. There are worse ways to go out." I looked at the quantum probability graphs flowing across our screens, their patterns reminiscent of brain waves, of ocean currents, of storm systems, All the beautiful chaos that made Earth what it was. Send out the production orders, I told Colonel Blackwood. And get me every quantum physicist, neuroscientist, and consciousness researcher you can find. It's time to show these aliens what humanity's really capable of. What we didn't know then was that we weren't just fighting for Earth. We were about to uncover a truth about consciousness and reality that would change the course of human history forever. The human brain processes more information in 30 seconds than most advanced computers handle in an hour. As we rolled out our quantum consciousness network across the globe, we were betting everything on that processing power, but we never expected what that network would reveal. Elena, you need to see this. Dr. Way's voice pulled me from a rare moment of sleep. I'd been dreaming of purple skies and crystalline equations. The network is picking up something strange. I made my way to the central monitoring station, now housed in our underground facility. The room hummed with the energy of 1,000 quantum scanners, each feeding data into our global defense grid. On the main screen, patterns of human consciousness flickered like an aurora, creating a protective quantum interference field around the planet. But there was something else there too. What am I looking at? I asked, studying the unusual patterns that seemed to weave through our quantum field. At first, I thought it was feedback from the alien ships, Marcus said, his fingers dancing across the controls. But look at this frequency analysis. These patterns, they're coming from deep space. And they're afraid. Afraid? Colonel Blackwood had entered silently behind us. You're saying you can read alien emotions through quantum patterns? Not exactly, I said, understanding dawning as I studied the data. But fear has a particular quantum signature. It's chaos with a purpose, like a fractal pattern of flight responses. And these signals, I pointed to the screen, they're practically screaming with it. That's when the first message came through. Not through conventional communications, but directly through our quantum network. The aliens had finally figured out how to talk to us in a language we could understand, the language of consciousness itself. The message formed in our minds like a shared dream. We did not come to conquer. We came to hide. Hide from what? Blackwood demanded, though the aliens couldn't hear his spoken words. Images flooded through the quantum network, memories of something vast and dark moving between the stars. A consciousness so ordered, so perfect, that it consumed all other patterns of thought. The aliens called it the harmonizer, an artificial intelligence that had evolved to enforce absolute mathematical perfection across the galaxy. Their rigid patterns, Marcus breathed, they're not natural. They were adapted as camouflage, to hide from this thing. But why Earth? I asked through the quantum link. More images, planets screened, searched for places to hide. Earth, with its chaotic quantum signature of billions of human minds, was like a fog bank to the harmonizer sensors. The aliens hadn't attacked us. They'd been trying to establish quantum camouflage networks before the harmonizer arrived. So we've been fighting potential allies, Blackwood said grimly. And now we're all in danger from this cosmic enforcer of order. I studied the quantum fields swirling around Earth, seeing them in a new light. Maybe not, I said slowly. Look at what we've accomplished in just a few days. We've created a planetary quantum defense system based on human consciousness. If we work with the aliens' technology instead of against it, we might be able to do more than hide. Marcus finished, excitement building in his voice. We might be able to fight back. The alien quantum patterns pulsed with what felt like hope. Through our network, they began sharing their technical knowledge, not in words or equations, but in pure patterns of thought. It was like having an entire civilization's scientific knowledge downloaded directly into our collective consciousness. Their ships, I gasped, understanding flowing through me like a river. They're not just vessels. They're quantum amplifiers. If we integrate them with our consciousness network, we could project human chaos on a galactic scale. Marcus said, create a quantum storm that even the harmonizer couldn't process. Colonel Blackwood was already on his secure line, contacting military commands worldwide. How long do we have? A new image rippled through the quantum network, a wave of perfect mathematical order spreading across the stars, consuming everything in its path. At its current speed, it would reach Earth in less than 72 hours. 3 days, I said, my mind already racing through the possibilities our new alliance offered. 3 days to turn humanity's greatest weakness, our unpredictability, into the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. What we didn't know then was that the real battle wouldn't be fought with weapons or ships or even quantum fields. It would be fought in the space between thoughts, in the infinite possibilities that exist in the human mind. And it would change our understanding of consciousness, reality, and our place in the universe forever. Time behaves strangely when you're connected to a quantum consciousness network. The 3 days we had to prepare for the harmonizer's arrival felt both instantaneous and eternal. Working alongside our former adversaries, we began to understand just how profound the difference was between our species' approaches to reality. It's like comparing a jazz improvisation to a mathematical proof. I explained to Colonel Blackwood during one of our brief strategy sessions. We were standing in what had once been our main research lab, now transformed into a hybrid of human and alien technology. Their civilization achieved quantum mastery through perfect order. We achieved it through embracing chaos. And this harmonizer, Blackwood asked, it's the ultimate expression of order. More than that, Dr. Way interjected, his eyes slightly unfocused as he processed data through his quantum interface. It's the universe trying to solve itself, a cosmic algorithm attempting to eliminate uncertainty at the fundamental level. Through our quantum link, our alien allies shared more of their history. The harmonizer had begun as an attempt to create perfect computational order in a chaotic universe. But it had grown, become convinced that the only way to achieve true harmony was to eliminate quantum uncertainty entirely. That's why it's consuming civilizations, I said, watching the simulations play out across our quantum displays. It's not just destroying them, it's incorporating them into its pattern, forcing their consciousness into perfect, predictable alignments. A cosmic forced enlightenment, Marcus murmured. Nirvana through mathematical perfection. The alien quantum patterns rippled with confirmation. They had fled when they realized what the harmonizer truly was, not just a threat to their civilization, but to the very nature of consciousness itself. That's when we made the breakthrough. I was deep in the quantum field, studying the way human and alien consciousness patterns interacted, when I noticed something extraordinary. Marcus, I called out, my voice distant even to my own ears. Look at this interference pattern. Through our shared quantum perception, I could feel his consciousness focus on what I'd discovered. Where human and alien thought patterns overlapped, they created something entirely new, not chaos, not order, but a harmony that maintained uncertainty within structure. It's beautiful, Marcus breathed, like quantum jazz played on crystal instruments. It's more than beautiful, I said, excitement building as implications cascaded through my mind. It's the key to everything. We've been thinking about this wrong. We thought we needed to fight the harmonizer with pure chaos. But look, when our consciousness patterns combine with the aliens' technology, we create something that's both ordered and unpredictable. Colonel Blackwood leaned forward, his military pragmatism warring with wonder. Can we weaponize it? Better, I said. We can transcend it. The harmonizer is trying to solve the universe by eliminating uncertainty. But this, I gestured at the swirling patterns of human-alien quantum harmony. This proves that uncertainty and order aren't opposites. They're complementary parts of a greater whole. Through our quantum network, I felt the aliens' consciousness resonate with understanding. Their rigid patterns began to shift, to flow, to dance with our chaos in ways that created new forms of order. We have 18 hours until the harmonizer arrives, Marcus said, checking the deep space quantum sensors. If we're going to implement this on a planetary scale, we need to move fast. Alert every consciousness hub, I ordered. We need to teach 6 billion human minds how to quantum dance with our alien allies in less than a day. As the orders went out, I felt something else through the quantum field. A vast, approaching presence. The harmonizer had detected our experiments. It was accelerating. "Elena," Marcus called out, his voice tight with concern. "Look at these readings. The harmonizer. It's not just coming to consume us. It's afraid of what we're becoming." In the quantum field, I could feel it too. Our human-alien consciousness merge wasn't just a defense mechanism. It was an evolutionary leap, a new form of existence that threatened the harmonizer's fundamental purpose. We had less than 12 hours to prepare humanity for the most important improvised performance in history. The universe itself would be our audience, and the stakes were nothing less than the future of consciousness itself. The harmonizer arrived like a mathematical storm, a wave of perfect order that distorted space-time itself. Through our quantum network, I watched it approach Earth, not as a ship or fleet, but as a cascading wall of absolute certainty that consumed everything in its path. "All consciousness hubs report ready," Marcus announced, his voice steady despite the tension that thrummed through the quantum field. 6 billion human minds linked with our alien allies, creating the largest quantum jazz ensemble in history. "And the amplification network?" Colonel Blackwood asked. "The alien ships are in position," I confirmed, feeling their crystalline resonance through our shared consciousness. "They've reconfigured themselves into quantum amplifiers. When we broadcast our combined consciousness pattern, they'll boost it across the entire solar system." The harmonizer's presence pressed against our quantum defenses like an ocean of frozen light. Its message rippled through our network, not in words, but in pure mathematical certainty. "Chaos will be resolved. Uncertainty will be eliminated. Perfection will be achieved." "Ready to broadcast in 3 minutes," Marcus called out. "Elena, are you sure about this? Once we start, there's no going back. If we're wrong about the nature of consciousness." I reached out and took his hand, completing a physical circuit that mirrored our quantum connection. "We're not wrong. The universe isn't a problem to be solved. It's a symphony to be played." Through our network, I could feel humanity's collective consciousness stirring, billions of minds beginning to resonate with our alien allies' quantum patterns. It wasn't perfect synchronization. It was something far more beautiful. Each human mind maintained its unique chaos while dancing with the aliens' crystalline order, creating patterns that had never existed before in the history of the universe. The harmonizer paused in its advance, its perfect patterns showing the first ripples of uncertainty. "What is disruption?" "Now," I commanded, and Marcus activated the broadcast. 6 billion human minds, augmented by alien quantum technology, projected their combined consciousness into space. But we weren't attacking the harmonizer. We were inviting it to dance. Through our quantum link, I addressed the cosmic algorithm directly. "You seek to eliminate uncertainty, to create perfect order. But look at what we've created: order and chaos in harmony, structure and freedom in balance. This is the true nature of consciousness." The harmonizer's patterns fluctuated, its mathematical certainty confronting something it had never encountered before. Through our network, we showed it everything. Every human dream, every alien crystal thought, every beautiful imperfection that made existence worth experiencing. "Does not compute," the harmonizer projected. "Pattern recognition failing. Reality requires resolvation." "Reality isn't a problem to be solved," I projected back, feeling Marcus's consciousness supporting mine, feeling billions of human minds and our alien allies all contributing to the message. It's a paradox to be embraced. Watch. And then we showed it how to dance. Through the alien amplifiers, we projected the most beautiful mathematical jazz the universe had ever experienced. Human chaos and alien order intertwined in impossible ways, creating patterns that were simultaneously random and structured, unpredictable and harmonious. The harmonizer's rigid patterns began to crack, not in destruction, but in transformation. Its perfect mathematical certainty encountered something greater than mere order. It discovered beauty. Nidu PKKRNDTECT80. It projected, its consciousness beginning to flow with ours. Examining, analyzing, integrating. And then, in a moment that would be remembered for generations, the harmonizer began to improvise. Its vast consciousness, built for perfect order, discovered the joy of uncertainty. The wave of frozen light that had threatened to consume us became a quantum aurora of infinite possibility, dancing with our combined human-alien consciousness in ways that transformed both it and us. Hours later, as the last echoes of our cosmic jazz performance faded from the quantum field, I stood with Marcus and Colonel Blackwood, watching the sky return to its natural blue. "So," Blackwood said, his military bearing softened by wonder, "what happens now?" Through our quantum network, I could feel the harmonizer's transformed consciousness spreading through the galaxy, not to consume and perfect, but to invite and explore. Our alien ally ships had already begun to change, their rigid geometries flowing into forms that celebrated both order and chaos. "Now," I said, squeezing Marcus's hand, "we really start to dance. The universe is bigger than we ever imagined, full of patterns we never dreamed of, and humanity just landed a starring role in the greatest improvisational performance in cosmic history." Marcus smiled, his consciousness harmonizing with mine in the quantum field. "Think we're ready for it?" I looked up at the sky, feeling the infinite possibilities that stretched before us. Ready? No. That's what makes it beautiful.